Hello students, today we are understanding some questions from NCERT. We have this NCERT solved question number 6.8. Okay, it is very important. Let us understand this question. The situation is given in the diagram. You can see from x equal to 0 to x equal to b, there is the magnetic field given in form of dots. That means normally outwards magnetic field B is given. Okay, this is magnetic field B. After that you can see from x equal to B to 2B there is no magnetic field because here blank is shown. Okay, so from here to here field is present and from here to here field is not present. After that we are given a rod. Okay, so suppose this rod PQ is there. Now this rod PQ, it is to be moved from here, from x equal to 0. Okay, so a rod PQ is moved from x equal to 0 to 2b and then 2b to 0 again. So we are asked to draw some graphs. Okay, so we'll be drawing these graphs. So let us understand the calculation for the graphs. This rod PQ, it is initially at x equal to 0. Okay, and after that it is moved this way from 0 to b, then 2b, and after that back and then back. This is the situation. Now we need to draw first of all the flux, magnetic flux linked with this closed part. Okay, so let us start calculating the flux things. So we will be calculating the flux here like this, flux phi. Okay, for two reasons we will calculate flux phi for, okay, let me write it this way. Okay, so let us understand the flux calculation, how it is taking place. First of all, suppose this rod PQ, it was initially at x equal to 0. Now this rod is shifted little here. Okay, so you can see in this closed part, okay, where in this closed part there are some field lines crossing, so that are suppose 8 field lines. After that if we shifted here, if we shifted here, if we shifted here, you can see every time the flux is increasing through this closed area. Okay, flux is increasing. So when the rod is moved from x equal to 0 to b, then the flux is increasing. Now the flux formula is B into A. Okay, B into A. After that now, how do we calculate this area? B is magnetic field, that is written area. Now you can see this part is fixed L, but this part is variable. So this variable part we will write what? X. Okay, so here the length L is fixed, here the length L is variable. So area will become BA means BLX. So BLX is the answer for the flux. In this case, when the rod is moved from 0 to B. Now, let us come to the second part. Now, this rod PQ, okay, this rod PQ, it has reached till B now, and from B to 2B, when it is moving out from B to 2B, so you see when it was at B, already all the field lines were crossing through this closed area. Okay, now forget this picture, this is not there. Now the rod is still here. So you see when the rod is already here, then whatever number of field lines were there, that all are crossing this area. So whether the rod comes here, then also the same number of field lines are crossing this area. If the rod is here, then also the same number of field lines are crossing. In the same manner, till it reaches 2B, same number of field lines are crossing it. Now how to calculate this field lines? So field lines are only in the half portion present. So firstly, if we take the whole area of this closed loop, then we have to divide it by 2 for calculating the flux. So how we will calculate the flux? Flux phi will become B into A. So B, L length is this L and from here to here the total length is 2b, but we have to divide it by 2 because the field lines are present only in the half portion, not in the full portion, but this part is constant also. So the flux here will become BLB. Okay, so what has happened, I'll just repeat it. Rod has already reached here. We are now talking about B2 to B. Rod has already reached here. So suppose 100 field lines were crossing. When the rod is shifted, then also 100 field lines are still crossing this area. When the rod is shifted here, then also in this area 100 field lines are crossing. So till the rod reaches here, the number of field lines are constant only, which are crossing this closed area. That means the flux is constant. Now, okay, how to calculate the flux? That is B into area. So B is magnetic field B, and area means only we have to talk about this part. When the rod was moved from B to 2B, so total area we have to first calculate L into 2B, total area L into 2B, and then for calculating the flux for the movement B to 2B, we have to just divide it by 2, because here we have to write about only B to 2B movement, from here to here movement when the rod was moved. Then how much was the flux? So flux involved is only BLB, because we have to do it just half. So BLB is the flux. So we can notice that when the rod is moved from 0 to B, then the flux is variable BLX. But when the rod is moved from B to 2B, then the flux is constant, it is BLB. So let us draw the graph here. Let us draw the graph. So when the rod is moved from x equal to 0 to B, flux phi is proportional to x. And proportional means increasing graph, straight line. So this way the flux graph will come. When the rod is moved from B to 2B, rod PQ, then the flux is BLB. BLB means it's not variable, it is constant. So here the flux is constant, means parallel graph. Then again when this rod PQ is moved from 2B to B, then also the same BLB flux will come. So it is constant. Then when the rod has reached here and it is coming back to 0, so you can see now the flux is decreasing. Okay, so BLX flux will be there, but X is decreasing, so phi is also decreasing. That's why the graph will come down to 0. So here by the time the rod is reaching back to 0, the flux linked with the area, closed area, will become 0. So it has become 0. So this is the graph for the flux. Now we have to solve the another component, that is induced EMF. Okay, you can see that the second component is induced EMF. How do we get the induced EMF? That is using the Faraday's second law. So by the formula E equal to minus d phi by dt, if I put the phi value, what is got here, BLX, if I put it here, B and L is constant, but dx by dt will become velocity V. So this way we will get E equal to minus of BLV answer for this case. And for B to 2B movement, since the flux is constant, you can see BLB is constant and constant's differentiation is 0. So induced EMF answer will come 0 for this case. So if we draw the graph for induced EMF, for 0 to B movement, induced EMF is minus BLV. So if this is the 0 line, for 0 to B movement, induced EMF is negative. So we will draw it here at minus BLV, and it is constant also. Then for B to 2B, induced EMF is 0. So for B to 2B, induced EMF will become 0. Then for 2B to B again, when the rod is moved back, then also the induced EMF is 0. This portion and this portion graph will remain same only. Okay. After that, when the rod is moved from B to 0, okay, for this part, B to 0. Since the flux was decreasing now, that means cos has changed. So induced EMF direction will also change. So instead of minus BLV, it will become plus DLV because the cos has changed. Okay. So BLV is a constant graph. So this is the graph. This way and this way. So I'll just tell you the changes. Here the flux was increasing for 0 to B. Here the flux was increasing, but B to 0 flux was decreasing. So the cos is just opposite. So if for this case induced EMF came minus BLV, so for this case since the cos has changed, so BLV's direction will also change. So it will become plus BLV. Calculation will remain same, but the direction will change. Now let us calculate the third part, force to pull the rod. So that part we are calculating here. Let us calculate the force. So that two portions, 0 to B movement and B to 2B movement. Okay, how do we calculate the force? See, force formula is ILB. Okay, ILB. I is voltage upon resistance. Voltage is now substituted for this case separate, for this case separate. Induced voltage came here minus BLV. Okay, so you can see induced EMF is minus BLV substituted. LB is already there. So B square L square V by R in minus sign. And here for this case also I have to put induced EMF. But here induced EMF was 0. So force is also 0. Okay, so these are the answers for the force. Now let us draw the the graph for the force thing. So again in the same manner. If this is my 0 line for the force calculation, for 0 to B, force answer is coming negative and constant. B is constant, L is constant and V is constant. Okay, so B square L square V by R is a constant term but negative. So graph will be a constant graph. Graph will be a constant graph but on negative side, where B square L square V by R graph. After that for B to 2B, the force is also 0. So force is 0. For 2B to B also force is 0. And again here you can see for B to 0 movement of the rod, if the force is negative for this case, then the force will come positive for this case because the cos has changed. So this way the force graph will also be like this only. Okay. After that we have to understand the power calculation. Last component is power. Okay. So power formula you have to apply F into V, force into velocity. This is the power to move any conductor. So force into velocity. Force is already obtained, B square L square V by R into one more velocity I am doing here. So B square L square V square by R will be the power term. And since the power is a scalar quantity, so it has nothing to do with the direction part. So here this minus sign we are not going to take. We are just interested in the value of the power. So power value is, power to move the conductor is B square L square V square by R. So this is the value. Now let us draw the graph. So if we draw the fourth graph, that means the power graph. Okay, for the power case. Power graph. So you see this value is now not negative. This value is positive only. So for 0 to B, the power value is this. And it is constant. It's not variable. इसमें x नहीं आ रहा है तो ये variable नहीं है. ये power हुआ. ये क्या वैल्यू है? दैट इज बी स्क्वायर एल स्क्वायर वी स्क्वायर बाय आर. दिस इज दैट वैल्यू. Then from B to 2B, since force is 0, we will put force value here. So power will also come here 0 this side. So power will become 0. Here also it will become 0. And here, what about the graph now for B to 0? Since power is a scalar, it has nothing to do with the direction. So whether the flux is decreasing or increasing, its value will remain the same. We are just interested in its value. So here the graph will be on the positive side only. So these are the 4 graphs which are obtained in this case, and this question is very important. Mainly remember the flux formulas. Here for this to this case, when the rod is moved, okay, so the question is when initially the rod is moved from 0 to B, flux increases. So BLX. Then from B to 2B, when the rod is moved, flux doesn't increase, it is constant. So BLB. Then from 2B to B again, we have to bring the rod. And from B to 0 again, we have to bring the rod. So flux decreases. So main part is of this question, the starting part is very important. Flux thing is very important. All other things are easily solved. Let us move to next question of NCERT. Now we will understand one NCERT's unsolved question, that is question number 6.10, 6.10. Now this question is based on the calculation of induced EMF. Okay, so which component of Earth's field we have to take, that is important. Let us understand the question. A jet plane is traveling towards west at a speed of 1800 km per hour. Okay. Speed let us convert in meter per second. It will become 500 meter per second by multiplying it with 5 by 18. Okay, 500 meter per second. What is the voltage difference developed between the ends of the wings having the span of 25 meter? Wings length is 25 meter. After that, Earth's field and dip angle is given. See, it's this way. Suppose if I say that these are the wings span of the jet plane, and then this jet plane is moving horizontally in the west direction. Okay, suppose this is the west direction, so this way the jet plane is moving. Now if the induced EMF is to be developed between its two ends, okay, then the condition which I have told you, that induced EMF only will be generated when magnetic field is present and it is changing. Magnetic field present is which magnetic field? Earth's magnetic field. Okay, so we have discussed this case when this rod PQ is moved in this direction, magnetic field is dot or cross, that means normally inwards, and length is this way. Then only, that means when all the three things are perpendicular, then only the induced EMF is produced across PQ. So you can see L is like this, L is vertical, magnetic field is normal, and V velocity is this way. So all the three things should be perpendicular to each other. This is L, this is B, and this is V. Okay, so you can see if a jet plane is moving horizontally in the west direction, so that means which magnetic field is perpendicular to it? That is Earth's vertical magnetic field. Earth's vertical magnetic field. So here the important thing is that we have to take the Earth's vertical magnetic field B in the calculation. So what is the vertical magnetic field formula? That is B sine delta. B is given 5 into 10 raised to power minus 4 Tesla, and dip angle is given 30 degree, which is half. So 5 by 2 means 2.5 into 10 raised to power minus 4 Tesla is the magnetic field which we have to use here. Now the formula of induced EMF is what? BLV. But which B we should take here? That is vertical. Okay, I think you have understood now. If this is the jet plane, its length is this, its movement is this. The jet plane is moving in this direction, this way. And what is the required magnetic field? That should also be perpendicular to all these things. So required magnetic field is vertical magnetic field. We cannot take the horizontal magnetic field of Earth. Okay, that's why here we have taken the vertical magnetic field of Earth. So we have to apply here BV, that means vertical component of Earth's magnetic field. So 2.5 into 10 raised to power minus 4. L length means wings length, 25 meter. Velocity is 500. Okay, so we need to solve this part. So the answer is 3.125 volts. Okay, this is the induced EMF calculation. Do one more such question. Okay, now we have one more such question in which also we have to decide that which component of Earth's field we have to take. Okay, now this question is about a wheel and about rotation case. Okay, the previous question we did of the linear motion case, now rotation case. We have to calculate induced EMF. Let us understand a wheel of 8 metallic spokes. So suppose this is the wheel and in this the spokes are 8. Okay, this type of 8 metallic spokes are there. Each of the length 50 meter. So this each length, okay, each length is 50 meter. So length is 50. Now this is rotated with speed 120. So this is that case. We have drawn, no, that if this type of magnetic field is there, then one rod PQ, it is rotated. So one induced EMF is generated across the rod. Okay, so what is the omega given? That is 120 revolution per minute. Okay, 120 revolution per minute. Now this is not the proper unit. We need to convert it in the radian per second. Okay, radian per second is the proper SI unit. So how we convert it? 1 revolution means 2 pi radian. So we have to multiply 120 with 2 pi radian, because 1 revolution means 2 pi radian and 1 minute means 60 seconds. So this way we will convert it. That means we have to multiply it by 2 pi by 60. So 60 120 is 2, that means 4 pi we are getting the answer in radian per second. Omega is given now, and then it is written, it is rotated in a plane normal to the horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field. This way, if this is the Earth's horizontal magnetic field, then this wheel is rotated perpendicular to it. Okay, this wheel is rotated perpendicular to it. This way the situation is. So that means now the magnetic field which is required here for the calculation of induced EMF, that is this horizontal component only. Now we don't require the vertical component because wheel is vertical, so magnetic field B should be horizontal one. They should both be perpendicular to each other. So since wheel is vertical, so the magnetic field required should be horizontal. Okay, so here we require the horizontal magnetic field B. Now our target is to calculate the EMF, induced EMF. So induced EMF formula is now for the rotation case B omega L square by 2 or B omega R square by 2. R means the radius of this circle or length of one spoke. Now which B we have to use here? So as I have told you, this is horizontal component which we require here. Okay, horizontal component is required here. Okay, so what is the formula of the horizontal component of field? That is BH is B cos delta. B total is given 0.4 Gauss. We will convert it in Tesla by 10 raised to power minus 4. And delta, dip angle is 60 degree. So cos 60 is half. Finally the answer is 0.2 into 10 raised to power minus 4. This we are going to substitute here. So 0.2 into 10 raised to power minus 4, omega is 4 pi, and r or length is 50 meter. So 50 square upon 2. This answer we have to calculate, and this way the induced EMF will be coming. So the answer is calculated. Just note down and understand these type of numericals. Okay.